Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the question then becomes, well, the only way to heal in things regarding sexual attraction that are out of harmony with the way God designed them to be is firstly to intellectually even acknowledge that they are out of harmony, which means we have to at some point have a discussion about the issues. Now, if we're already resistive to having a discussion about the issues, how are we ever going to feel the emotion about the issues? Can you see? So while all of these things are true, that there are injuries that we have imposed upon us that cause us to feel shame, and while, yes, that's also true, that we do have a soul instinct to what's loving, and every time we've been unloving, we do feel also some shame or guilt or a bad conscience. At the end of the day, whether we feel a bad conscience or we have injuries imposed, we still need to enter the discussion before anything can be resolved. And we need to enter have an openness to entering the discussion about our emotions, about the particular things that guide our sexual attractions. So this is where many people have a lot of difficulty. For instance, many heterosexual males would have a lot of trouble admitting any single time that they felt an attraction to another male. Can you see that? And many heterosexual females will have usually difficulty doing the same and admitting to an attraction they had with another female. Many of us also would be very resistive to talking about our sexual history. It's interesting, we're totally open about talking about every other piece of history generally that we have.
People come and tell us for hours.
Yeah, what their other histories are. But when it comes to our sexual history, we don't want to examine it. And what I'm suggesting to you, if you want to heal sexual attraction so that sexual attraction comes into line with the way God designed it, and that is, right at the beginning we said that what that was, that is that you will only ever be sexually attracted to your soulmate no matter who else is around. That's the pure way that God designed. Then what we're going to have to do to get to that point is we're going to have to discuss our sexual attraction by looking at our sexual history in terms of what we have done in the past. We're going to need to have an openness emotionally and also even intellectually to feeling about our sexual history before we can discover the real reasons why things happen. Now, what I've found in my own progression and what I've noticed in almost everybody else who's trying to progress is that there is a deep resistance many times to discussing the history about anything in particular, but particularly their sexual history. And this deep resistance then causes us to not be able to heal particular things. And the ironic thing about our sexual history is that most of the time it was not created by any warped sexual desires or passions. The reality is, and this is a basic truth, that our sexual history was created most of the time by our unhealed emotions not related to sex at all.